Hello everyone, I'm Ayden Ka. In this occasion, I'm gonna be building another Gundam, another RX-78-2. This time though, it's gonna be the high grade, the Universal Century high grade. So the reason that I want to build this one is because I want to compare it to the entry grade. Since they are the entry grade, which you can see on the back, is gonna be, it costs you like $10, and this one's gonna cost $13. So I want to compare them. Obviously, this one requires tools to build it. You shouldn't be snapping them off like I did on the last video. You shouldn't snap it off. You should actually use some form of tool, right? So I'll show you a tool that I'm gonna use. So it's this. This is a God Hand entry grade nipper. It also costs quite a bit, but you're gonna be using it if you're gonna be building more models. You're gonna be using it quite a lot, right? And these are always gonna be useful. So let's go ahead and look at the box. So for the box, it's very simple. This is the standard, the most standard RX-78-2 Gundam from the Earth Federation Space Force, I believe. Earth Federation Space Force prototype. So if you watch the anime, which I went back and watched it since the last time I made a video, I went back and watched the entire anime, and it's really good. But it wouldn't get made today. I can say that. So this is a prototype. When the anime starts, it is said that this is just a prototype of what they can actually do. Close combat mobile suit. So it's a 1/144 scale of the RX-78-2 high grade. I don't read Japanese, so I can't. On the bottom of it, you can see just some. Oh, you can't actually see it. You can see it on the bottom one. All right. Next side. There you go. Next side. There you can see the June code, or just the code for it. And since I bought it in America, it's gonna have that label, that warning label in English. All right, so that should be it. Let's go ahead and see what's inside the box. So inside the box, we're gonna have the runners. Immediately, the difference that you can see with the entry grade to the high grade is that on the entry grade, we don't have the energy blades that the Gundam should have, right? It's one of the most used weapons in the show, the energy blade. So they should have it on the entry grade, but it's very expensive plastic, I think, the one that's transparent, right? So on here we have, well, I'll go through each individual runner here in a bit. And so we have these just two bags to hold all the runners that we're gonna use, and the instruction manual. So we're gonna go through the instruction manual first. I don't plan on showing it as much as I did on the last video. I'm just going to put the step on screen and go through with it, right? So for this manual, we can see the same information that we had on the box, except we have some more information here. So Earth Federation Space Force, I believe, prototype, close combat mobile suit, RX-78-2. So the model number, we have the head height. So this is supposed to be 18 meters with a weight of 43.4 tons. I don't know why total weight, it says 60 ton. I'm guessing like fuel and all that. Generator output, this all have nuclear reactors in them. Thruster total propulsion. So the propulsion that it can generate for on land jumping and on space, just propulsion. Material, Luna titanium alloy, and then the armaments, right? So this is quite possibly, well, it is much more detailed. If you look at the pieces individually, each piece is much more detailed individually than the entry grade. But also the biggest difference, visible difference, is going to be that you're going to have the entire armament with this one. So you'll have the blades, which you should have too. This doesn't have the spear, but that's fine. You also have the gun, the bazooka, and the shield, right? So this has a bunch of weaponry. Now, the instruction manual itself, it's in Japanese. I can't read this. So, the instruction manual is in Japanese. I can't read it. I can show you some of it, right? You can see the manual itself, and then the steps, we can see some of the steps. These are for the armament. That's going to be last. What we want is here. So these are all the building steps, right? So we start with much more difficult to maneuver around this manual, but whatever. So we're gonna start every kit, Japanese kit, is gonna have a sheet where they give you instructions on what to do, what not to do. They give you, these instructions are in English, so it says assemble in the order, confirm the direction and shape of the parts, then this symbol will mean assemble multiple sections as indicated, then sticker number, select one of the parts and attach it, move the opposite side as well, use identical part section for each side, and cleanly cut out. So it says, well, yeah, there's a whole bunch of instructions here that you have to follow. And then it gives you this rundown of the runners, right? So in this case, we're gonna have 5 runners, right? So it's gonna have 5 runners. I don't think this one came with some kits will come with a price, with the price of each runner. That might just be a Kotobukiya thing though. Okay, so now, from now on, let me see if there's anything else interesting here. Okay, so the backside. Let me show you the backside real quick, and then we'll actually get started with the building. So on the backside, you can see multiple poses that you can make with that you can achieve with the Gundam itself. So there's multiple poses here. This one needs a base, but I have some bases. It's just I'm not gonna use them right now. And then you can see the mobility of the joints, some other poses that you can have with the different weaponry and everything. And then here, one of the more interesting parts about the manuals is that they give you a rundown of the colors that you can have. So for example, in this case, and all of these colors can be achieved with, what's it called? It's in Japanese, but if you translate it, you should be able to see the colors, and then you should be able to find those colors in Mr. Hobby's line of paints, right? So it's gonna tell you that this white, it's 100% on one paint, right? And then the blue is a combination of 2 paints, so it's 60-40%. Then the red is a combination of 2 with 85 and 15%, and so on and so forth, right? And you can find all of these paints in the Mr. Hobby lineup of paint. So if you want to paint it, you would get all the paints listed here, combine them, and then you would have all the colors required to more accurately replicate the colors that you see in the anime. Okay, so now let's actually get into the meat of the matter, which is building the Gundam. Let me set this up to the first page. Okay, I think that's a bunch of information to go through. So now, let's actually open the bags. I don't know for everyone else, but I opened this really badly. Okay. I really like opening these bags, I don't know why. And I try, whenever I get a kit, I know a lot of people get them out of the bags and then just have them in the box, but I don't like doing that. I want to have them all complete in the bag. How can I got this holders for the runners that are like individual, so I can have individual pieces, but they don't work that great. They don't work that great. All right, so back again. I left off saying there's a second package that we have. Second bag to open with the rest of the runners. So these runners are actually big, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna have them in the desk. Oh, I forgot. It also has some stickers. I don't think I'm going to attach the stickers right now. But I'll have them there. I'll have them there for now. So yeah. Let me show you each runner individually. So here we have the B runners. Where's the A runners? C runners, and I'm guessing that this is the A. So the A runner, it has all these pieces here. So these are going to the belt. This is to the chest, to the shield. Then we have the shield, more of the shield. I don't remember exactly. This is for the belt. This is for the belt. Feet, and yeah, we have a bunch of colored pieces on this runner, on the A runner. Then for the C runner, we have all the gray pieces, so it's gonna be joints. stuff that goes beneath the surface, right? So joints, hands, the guns, a whole bunch of other little pieces, right? It's hard to show all of it. And then for the white parts, it's gonna be the outside. So you have some of the cobs, I think. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff for... You can't show all of it in this camera. The shield, the helmet, the belt, just a whole bunch of pieces for that area. But I need to put this one like this. They are a mess, my runners, right now. Yeah, and this is not holding up. Okay, I'm gonna have to find a different way to hold the runners, but that's besides the point. All right, so now I'm not gonna show all of the steps. Instead, what I'll do is I'll put something on screen when I'm going through like the body. I'll put the entire diagram of the body on screen, or I can just show it like this briefly, and you can go back and see the instructions if you need to. I forgot this little runners. Yeah, so the blades and some other joint stuff. I'm guessing it's joints. But yeah, so smaller, little smaller runners. And then the stickers. I can show you the stickers. Oh, it's gonna be in the middle. Okay, so I was saying earlier, so the difference in price between the entry grade Gundam, which is here on the back, and this high grade is going to be $3. So it's just $3 of difference. And you would think that's like, okay, well, if you're gonna buy the entry grade, you might as well buy the high grade. I would argue so, but you also need to get nippers, right? Because these are supposed to be, these pieces are not supposed to be taken off the runner just by what's it called? Just by snapping them off. You're supposed to cut them. And what most people will do is they'll do a two-step cutting process. So I'll show it in a bit. I'll try to do it, but generally for this particular instance, I'm just gonna cut once. But generally what you wanna do is a two-cut process. Okay, I was saying, I'm going to show just the quick view of the manual, and then I'm gonna start building it. I'll start building it. I'll show you what a two-step process is for A. Where's A? This is not A. But I'll show you the different ways that people... Come on, give me that. The different ways that... Whatever, I'll leave it like that. Different ways that people do their cutting for stuff. So I need A6, A12. This is C. What am I doing? I need more. I need to organize myself better. I'm just gonna put that over there. That's right. It's really hard to have them at the top left. I should have them at the right, but besides the point. A6, A12. So A6. So what people will usually do is, you see how there's a very fine piece of the plastic here. So people will grab it and cut it so that there's something left. Actually, I didn't leave anything at all there. Well, you can do it multiple ways, right? But you can cut it very early on. I need to stop doing that. I shouldn't do it that thick. But basically, that's too thick, by the way. Too thick, you shouldn't go that thick. But what people will do is they'll leave a bunch of plastic on the piece, on the part, and then they'll start cutting it down. They start cutting it down. So they'll get up to here with the entry grade, and then they'll have something better. So in my case, I can show you... What other nipper do I have? Well, this is a Tamiya, but this is a Tamiya. You wouldn't use this one for what I'm gonna tell you about. But what you would do is you would grab some better nipper, and then cut the last bit of it as close as possible to the model, and that would leave less bite into the plastic, I suppose. That would make it so the cut is a lot better. In this case, this Tamiya is not that great for that, because it's a double edge. It's a double edge nipper, meaning it has an edge on both sides. So you don't want to use this type for the last cut that you do. You want to use something a little bit better than that. But I can't find it. Do I have something here? Well, I have the God hand, which is good enough, right? Good enough. This is probably the best. So what you would do with this one is the same thing. You just cut closer and closer and closer, and then the last little bit of plastic, you would cut it as close as possible to it, right? So you don't have to sand it. I'm not gonna do that for this model. I'm not gonna go that in depth into it. I am just going to cut it either once, twice, or once. Doesn't matter. The idea being that I want to make this model with as little as possible to see how it compares to the entry grade, right? Because the entry grade, you're just supposed to snap things off. But what I'm saying is that it would be a lot better if you use some entry grade nippers, like these God hands that are $13. So the total cost of building an entry grade is $10, and the total cost of building a high grade is going to be $26. But you get to keep the nippers, and you're going to be using them. If you plan on keeping on with the hobby, well, you're going to be using them a lot, right? So there we go. We got A6, and I need to get A12. If it sounds like I'm going fast, it's because I am. I'm going fast because the cameras are still overheating. I haven't been able to fix that. And I need to figure out how I'm gonna... This is the awkward thing about the nippers, that I haven't actually used the nippers while filming, because I don't have a lot of freedom. Okay, whatever. But you can see that it just... Oh no. Is that where it was? I don't like that piece of plastic. So you can see that... I don't like this one. Even using the entry grade, you probably want to do a cut twice. Because if you just cut it once, there's a chance that you're going to bite into the plastic real bad. If you're biting into the plastic real badly... No, did I already do that one? Yeah. If you try to just do it once, you're gonna bite into the plastic real bad, and it's just gonna damage the pieces, right? It doesn't matter much if you plan on painting it, but if you're not gonna paint it, if you're just gonna leave it as is, it might look bad. Okay, so I'm snapping this in. I'll have everything here. I'll try to showcase it, but I'll do it here in the middle of the... Is that good enough? Should I? Yeah, I'll put it here. So yeah, what was I saying? PC2. PC is this little one, I believe. This is rubbery plastic. I don't remember what type of plastic this is, but this is going to be for the joints, I believe. These are 2. This is going to be for the 2. So, and you can just do a 1 cut instead of 2. If you're confident, this plastic, it guides you so that you make the cut correctly. So it's not that bad. How does it say that we should connect this? So we should connect it just like so. Okay, there we go. So those are gonna be where the socket for the joints. PC4, C35. PC4, C35. These are quite weird instructions. I'm sure I'm giving a whole bunch of, I'm saying a whole bunch of stuff that is wrong, but I'm just against it. I'm against the clock. I'm against the clock. And honestly, a lot of the stuff about this whole building thing, C, so I need C. A whole bunch of stuff about building Gunpla is just like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You should be able to C35. C35. You should be able to do whatever you want, honestly. It doesn't matter, unless you're gonna be like selling it or something. It doesn't matter what you do, just have fun with it. So this is really awkward. Just have fun with it, it doesn't matter. It's yours to do whatever you want with. Have fun with it. Okay, I'm pushing on everything. There is a certain increase in difficulty going from an entry grade to a hard grade. And most of it comes from the joints being different. The way that pieces join together, and not just that, but where is it? A8. The way that pieces come together, and because they want to give you more freedom. That's the issue. Well, it's not an issue, it's good. Okay, this piece is weird. You have to be sure that you're not damaging the piece itself. They want to give you more freedom in the way that you can pose it, in the things that you can do with the model, right? So it's gonna be much more complex. I need to figure out better how I'm gonna do this. It is gonna be much more complex. However, it should end up looking better. So that's a trade-off. Oh damn, this snaps real odd. Well, I mean, I think it shouldn't have snapped. This is where the core fighter goes, I think. It'd be cool if they gave you a little core fighter. That'd be real cool. A5 had a little. Where's A5? This one. It's a blue piece. And these pieces have connect points that are wide. So with entry grade nippers, you're going to get a lot of white. Like, look. With entry grade, you're going to get a lot of white on the... Alright, how I was saying, when you're just doing a one-cut process, it's gonna leave a lot of white. Even when you do it with a two-step process, it's gonna leave some white in it, but there's other ways to get somewhat rid of it, right? Either way, it's not going to be very noticeable. It's not gonna be very noticeable, and certainly not every single part you're going to notice that it has white spots in it due to here. You're not gonna notice the white spots on every single part. The ideal would be not so much that you get rid of the white. Why is it not snapping correctly? Did I not snap the other one? Oh. The ideal situation is that you don't worry about the white parts. Instead, you paint. You paint the model kit, and then none of the white is gonna show. Not sure why it's not snapping in correctly. Which I am gonna be doing at some point. I'm gonna be painting this. Yeah, I don't know why this bottom part is not going in. I'm not able to snap it. I don't got nails. Okay, let me check what's wrong. There's some wrong here. Where did I leave that? I don't know where I left it. You don't want to mistreat your pieces, you have to get some little tools like that. Right, so this goes in. But it's not going in as far as I would like it to go. Oh, that didn't go in. How does it say you should? All right. So I was saying, I was struggling with this piece because it wasn't fitted quite well, and then I caused some damage to it. So, but it's whatever. And it's not gonna be noticeable in the end product. Yeah. So this plastic pieces on the side, they weren't fitting quite well. But anyways. Let's continue with A9. Get an A9 out of there. I'll eventually start I'll eventually start being much more careful with the way that I take this off of the runner. For now, this is fine. So in the show, okay, why are you not fitting? Yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. Man, these pieces are harder to fit than I remember. And I can probably tell why. Is this supposed to have that lip? I don't feel like that's correct. This is A9. Is I don't think that's supposed to be like that. Oh, God. It's a lot. The movement on this is not as good as the entry grade. Straight up. Alright, whatever. The torso itself looks a little bit better, but the movement is nowhere near as good. Doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it has any movement. I don't think I did anything wrong, but it just feels like there's just no movement in there. All right. A14. A14. So usually you put the flat part against the piece, just so you don't bite into the piece. Yeah, that's good enough. And then PC1. One. So I mentioned that I went back and rewatched the entirety of which side? like that. The entirety of the very first anime, the one that came out on the 1979. The creator mentioned that he wanted the anime to be much more grim. The creator mentioned that he wanted the anime to be much more grim, but sorry, my camera turned off. But I'm gonna continue with just the top down, and then when I need to show off the finished product, I'll show it. I'll turn on the other camera. The creator had mentioned that he wanted it to be much more grim, but if you go and rewatch the very original anime, which is on Crunchyroll, the anime itself is extremely grim. It's not happy for the most part, and even it's hard to talk about it without giving spoilers. Not that it matters; it's from the 79, but that anime has a multitude of deaths happening every single episode. And basically, there's no episode where there's just a happy ending, you know? There's no episode where it's just happy all the way through. It has to be some form of tragedy every single episode. So even when it's a victory, even when they portray the protagonist being victorious, right? So Amuro Ray, which is the pilot of the RX-78-2, the original one, even when they portray that they won, it's not a happy victory. Never. It never really is. And for the first half of the anime, you see Amuro facing a lot of personal dilemmas, I guess. It's like a whole bunch of personal stuff, right? Because he was just a kid. He's 15 years old when he starts piloting the Gundam. So he's just a kid. He starts piloting it. And yeah, he's not a soldier. And then he gets thrown into war. So that messes with him real bad. And you see him going through all the stages of what's it called? FNG syndrome. So you see him, and another character even mentions it. He mentions it as rookie syndrome. B8, B9. He mentions it as rookie syndrome, right? So when a soldier first enters the war, they go through this entire thing. Psychological problems. Oh, I shouldn't say that. 8, 9. 8, 9. They go through a whole bunch of psychological problems. And it reaches the point where they have a mental breakdown, right? And Amuro does. He has a mental breakdown over it. It's just to show that the horrors of war. The horrors of war and the effect that they have on the psyche. So the creator says that he wanted to make the show much more grim than it actually is. And I don't know how you do something like that. It's also, the show has a lot of science in it. It has a lot of science, but it's science fiction in the end, right? Science fiction because it's not real. But it's based on reality. Just filling in the gaps with fiction. Okay, my bad. So I didn't notice that both cameras were off and I was yapping about. So since I last gave an update on this, so here we go. This is the entire upper part, the entire body of the Gundam being built. So there's the instructions and this is the result, right? So you can see that it's the entire upper part. Now, one thing I'm not sure about is that this is really stiff. The abdomen is really stiff. I don't know if that's on purpose, but there was a lot more movement with the entry grade. So I don't know if this is on purpose, but this piece of the abdomen, it doesn't move as much as with the entry grade. You can see that you can see it behind. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's just it's not as mobile. So yeah, that's the chest, the body. Okay, so now for the head. It wants you to do the sticker already. Should I do the stickers? I suppose I'll do the stickers. I'll do the stickers. So I need A1, A3. Oh, these pieces are kinda hard to see where they snap off. So that's A1 and then A3. Yeah, these pieces are hard to... Oh. Hard to see, and I'm blinded by all the lights. Was this supposed to come off? Yes, it was. Okay, so what do they want me to do with this? Put it in like this. Jesus Christ, these pieces are so small. It's hard to even show them. It's hard to show them, let alone work on them, especially with the having to hold everything up so that it's visible somewhere in the camera. Okay. So it wants me to put stickers, the reflective stickers. 2 and 3. I need some. Jesus Christ, this is surgery. So it wants me to put this stickers. I already scratched it. Oh, cool. No. No, that's wrong. I hate doing stickers. Yeah, it's gonna look awful, but whatever. It's just not easy to put them on. It's never gonna be easy. You can't even see what I'm doing. Do I have better? No, that's what I got. So those are behind. And then I'm supposed to put this other sticker on here. I'm guessing I could do it without the stickers, but I'm just gonna try it. How do you even do this? It's such a small piece and they ask you to put a sticker on it. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Look, that's the piece. The camera won't even focus on it. Okay, so I put together this part. I believe that you were supposed to either, I can't even show it properly. You were either supposed to use the reflective stickers on the back or the black and yellow sticker on the front. I don't think you were supposed to use both, but I put them on anyways. I can just take off the front one. The front one is the one that I like the least, the black and yellow one, so I'll take it off at some point. Forget that it exists. Now, for the next step is B25. So, B25, which is gonna be the mouth plate. Face plate. So it'll start having a better... Yeah, you can already tell that it's the face, but... Now for B20... Where am I? B20. Oh. Bumped the mic. It's not very hard taking this off the runner. It's hard because I have a bunch of stuff around me. Alright, there we go. And now for the faceplate. Well, the front half of the helmet, right? And it really doesn't matter how you get the plastic off. As long as you're using some kind of nipper. I don't want to snap off things again. Especially some of the kits that I've seen, they're so they have so many little pieces and like little details. It does kind of look good. They'll have so many little pieces that's just the chances that you destroy a piece because you're snapping it off is very high. That's weird. It's not snapped completely correctly. You can see a little seam there. Yeah, I don't mind the eyes. I don't mind the eyes at all. They look very... they look like the anime. I think. I remember. They look like that. A2, B21. So B21. It's the smallest piece, and I don't know where it begins and where it ends. Hope that's right. A2. A2 is this tiny little piece also. All right. So this goes into the front, and then on the front of that, even more in the front. So it snaps there. And then in front of that, you snap this little bit. I believe like this. The other way. No, it is like that. 1 sec. There we go. Okay, so that should be it for the head. See that? Okay, so we have 2 parts now. And we can probably put it together now so that you can have the body and the head. So it's looking nice. We had just finished the head. So here you go, the head and the body. So now we're gonna go into the right arm, and I'm guessing we're gonna replicate that for the left arm. So B13, B14, and PC3. All right, let's look at those. Where are we? B13 and B14. Let me see if we're gonna replicate that so I can just do both at the same time. Right leg, left leg, but why does it do both? It has them both. Okay, well, whatever. We'll just be doing both at the same time. No, there goes that. You don't need a shoulder. It's very hard to be doing this while with so many things beside you. Some of these are broken. I don't know if you noticed, but that one's broken already. So these are both, oh, so these are just for the right arm, I think. So it's B13 and B14 in one section. So let's not do both at the same time then. With a PC3. Also has something to do with the fact that I'm stressing over this because it's my own fault that I'm stressing over it, mind you. Damn, which one was this? The one with the holes. That, and then this, and this to the... Stressing over this because I'm filming it and the cameras keep shutting down. I've been changing some settings on them. So I'm stressing. However, if you're doing this on your own, then it wouldn't be as stressful, you know? You'd just be having a good time. Alright, so now C236. C. Clean up. C2. It does have different numbers. C2, C3. C2. C3. That's weird. C6. So these are both C3s, but the other ones weren't. C6. There we go. C2. So this is gonna be a joint. I mean, these joints are the joints for the arms and the legs. I was looking at them and they do look a lot better than the ones on the entry grade. However, I am not liking how stiff it seems so far. I'm not liking the stiffness of them, but we'll see how it is at the end. Okay. So here we go. That's what we built. And this is for the right arm. So you can see how that's going to... That's pretty solid too. Joint. It's pretty solid, I have to say. B18. Let me put this over here. B18. Where's 18? It's numbered. Oh, okay. They're supposed to be the same on both sides. I don't know why they have different numbers for the same piece. Unless I'm missing something. Is this the right one? Yeah. Okay, like this. Now B15. Not like that, but like this. All right. All right, there we go. What now? So I was B15, so B12s. I need to put B12s on either side of this. B12s. Okay, so we do have just 4 of them. I'll go ahead and take them all out. I like it when you cut them and they stay. No, never mind, I didn't cut them, that's why they stood. Oh, they are cut. Just stubborn. Alright, let me put 2 of them off to the side. B10, B11. Okay, these are just the same. All right, there we go. B10, B11. B11 first. Okay, hold on. And this goes to the back. Yeah, just like that. And then B10. I think this is correct. Yeah. Yeah, this is correct. Now we add the shoulder part. This is supposed to be the right it's supposed to be the right arm. I think I did it wrong. It's to the other side. Yeah, now it's the right arm. Something seemed wrong. Okay. Alright, so now I need to do the hands. So for the hands, each hand has two parts. So here we have C13, the right hand. C4. Okay, so that's gonna be for one hand. Let me go ahead and take off the other hand though. So C10 and C5. And then C10, this is the other hand. All right, so both of these hands are gonna have some like this. So now you can see that this is one of the hands. And the other hand. So before you add it, the back of the hand is just not there for some reason. So you add it. And now it has a back. Not entirely, I guess it's to connect the shield? I don't know. We'll see later. So let me add the fist for now. Is that, yeah, there we go. So that is the arm finished, and that's another piece that we can add to the list of things that are built already. All right, here we go. Last try. Not really. I'm gonna keep going, but it is annoying that I'm having so many technical issues. All right, so the left arm. Let's go and make the left arm. I think I'll keep the top-down camera for now. I'll clean later. So earlier on, I was actually going on about having rewatched the entire anime, the Gundam Mobile Suit Gundam anime. I rewatched the entirety of it. And it's really good. It's really good, but it is not something targeted at children for sure. And the creator says that it's targeted at young teens or mid-teen. I don't remember, but it's for teens, right? However, I would argue that even then, it's not a very teen-friendly show. because the topics that it touches on, it's war. It's all war. So without going much into spoilers, even though it's an anime that came out in the 79, so 1979, without going much into spoilers, because it's certainly something that everyone should see, I think. It is an amazing anime. PC3. It is an amazing anime in the sense that for the time that it was made, it was very relevant to the time when it was made, right? It's after the war. It's not shortly after the war, but certainly a lot closer to the war than it is to today, right? And so this anime is closer to... One sec. And like this. This anime is closer to the war than we are today. Closer to the anime, if that makes sense. And you can tell that it's very much a story about war, about the horrors of war. And it starts with telling us how the war went, has been going, and that now it's coming to a head. C3Z. So the anime starts with an attack on Site 7, which is a colony, a space colony for the Earth. And that's when you meet Amuro Ray, which is the protagonist of it. C3. C1, C3, C6. That's when you meet Amuro Ray, the protagonist and the pilot of the original Gundam. His father being the person that made the Gundam. C3 and C6. So when he first handles the Gundam, a bunch of tragedy happens, sure. But he's able to get into the groove of things very quickly. And from there on, it becomes this... he has to join up with a whole bunch of other individuals. He joins up with them and they end up going into, I wouldn't call it an adventure. They are forced to take the white base, which is a giant ship. They are forced to take it and escape Site 7. And while they're escaping, they're being constantly chased by enemies, right? In this case, it's Char and Savel. I don't remember the name. They're forced to escape. And while they're escaping, they're constantly being attacked and they're constantly having to defend themselves. And there's constant just war around them. War around them until they reach Earth, at which point there's still more war going on. So there is this, the anime goes from an attack on a colony to them being basically soldiers. And then once they're soldiers, they are just constantly in conflict. And it doesn't let go. Every single episode has to have a bunch of deaths, but it also has to have the Gundam out there, right? It needs to have the Gundam out there doing something. And I think that's more... I don't think that's the something that the director wanted, but more so that the studio wanted. Because the director, he wanted to make a story that was grim. That was much more grim than it turned out, which is still... The Gundam story is very grim. But the director wanted it to be even more so. And I think that a lot of the decisions that are being made in the show are not by the director, but by the studio. And you can kind of tell because every single episode has a bunch of drama, has a bunch of war topics, and then it has them going on the Gundam and fighting. And it's just ridiculous. Because you see, it's not an anime that would get made today, that's for sure. That's for sure. And you see him describe psychological... Not describe them, but rather go through all the psychology of war, you know? One of the characters describes it as Amuro, at some point, is starting to get shaky. One sec. How was this? It's... here. Is it there? I feel like I put it wrong. I feel like I'm putting it wrong. One sec. Yeah. So like this? No, but it was right then. So like this. So there's a whole bunch of topics of war, and it's not an anime that you should have your children watch. They're not gonna understand it, for one. They might be able to. I remember watching this when I was really young, and I didn't understand it, and I thought it was very weird, a very weird show. And now that I've seen it again, I know why it was weird. It's because I didn't understand what was going on. B16, where's B16? Oh, there it is. I really didn't understand what was going on. Now, oh yeah, and it's important to note that Amuro Ray, the pilot for the Gundam, is actually just 15 years old, right? He's 15 and he's faced with the reality that he's killing people. He's actually going out there, killing people that have families, that have kids, that, you know, he's killing people. And he's faced with this reality pretty much every single episode. Now, I always say this, that they have no reason. Well, I know what the reason is, right? But every single time that he kills someone, well, not every single time, but especially in the beginning, when he faces against another pilot in a mobile suit, he'll face against another pilot, and they'll make sure to mention his name to show his friends. They'll make sure to mention his name to show his friends, to show that someone is yelling for him because, you know, he's someone's friend. They make sure to let you know that the people in the other mobile suit are real and that he's killing them. So at some point, he gets this, he has a meltdown, Amuro. And they call it rookie syndrome. Rookie syndrome. If you want to look it up, it's also called FNG syndrome. FNG syndrome for the Americans, right? FNG syndrome for the Americans. 10, hold on, B10. So Amuro has meltdowns throughout the series, and then after he makes up, there's just so much going on in that anime. It's unreal that got made back then. It's just unreal. Is it like this? I feel like it is. This is the left arm, so it would be like, like this, right? Yeah. And then this would be like this. Yeah? Yeah. It's unreal that it was made. It's very well made. The story is good. It has elements of, obviously it's an anime, right? So it's gonna have some kind of drama, some elements of anime drama. It does, it has that. It does, it has a bunch of stuff that I personally don't watch a lot of anime. I don't like a lot of anime, but this one's like, you can excuse a lot of the tropes that happen in anime, which back then weren't very much, they were, some of them were tropes, but for the most part, one sec, it's 12 and 4. For the most part, the stuff that was happening back then was new. So it might seem tropey if you watch it with the current knowledge, but you have to understand that back then it wasn't very tropey. Somewhere, but not a lot of it. Also, if you do watch it, you have to understand that the animation back then, it was done week to week. So pretty much every episode was done from week to week. So the animation's not gonna be that great. But you can still watch it and see and get the idea, right? A lot of the times it's gonna be, let me put on this hand for now. A lot of the times you're gonna be watching it and notice that a lot of the animation is reused from episode to episode. So if you see something on one episode, you'll see it on the next, and so on. So up to halfway through the story in that anime, it's very much war stuff. Where's the other hand? I don't see it. 11. I don't know why it has more. 11 and 5. Yeah, so up to half of the series, it's like Amuro going through his stuff. And then at that point, you start seeing more development on everyone else's side. Right? But the constant in the show is that you pretty much always have a feeling of uneasiness when you're going into any situation, because you know that at any point anyone could die, and that's just war. That's just war. And through the series, you see a lot of people die. A lot of people that they present to you, they get you to like them, and then you're like, okay, this is a good character. I really like him. I want to see what he does. And then he does something odd, and he dies. Right? Most of the villains, you can understand them. You can understand what they're doing. You can see that they are. Oh no! Now it's telling us to put everything together. You see the villains, and you can understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. That's really cool. Oh my god, this is just so stiff. My only armor's a little bit better, but... Alright, there we go. Alright, we have the body head. Let me show it real quick. That's pretty cool. You can change the hands, obviously. The high grade has many more hands. It's like two more hands than the entry grade, right? Okay. So now right leg. So the right leg, I'm gonna show it real quick. I'll probably show it on screen a little bit more. So I think this is the entirety of the right leg. So I'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, because the next one is the left leg. So I'll go ahead and get started with the right leg. So yeah, I was saying up until the halfway point of the anime, it's really good. It's really good, but it's very specific what it's going for, right? It's going to the small scale war thing, right? A small scale squadron and all the issues that they go through. And then after that, it switches into like war, into actual war. Because at some point, well, without going too much into detail of what happens, at some point they go from being just people who want to survive and are forced into war, basically, to being soldiers, to being actual soldiers. And at that point, the shift is significant because now it's the horrors of war as a whole. It goes into, it changes. It has a momentum shift, and it goes into a different thing. B29. Hold on, let me start getting some things. Does it matter which one I use? I don't think it does. PC-7A4. Is it? Yeah, so now I'm actually gonna be using the red parts. And PC-7. So yeah, there's just a whole bunch of war stuff. Where am I? Like this. but it's well made. It's well made. It really makes you feel like the situation is dire. The situation is dire and what they're going through is difficult, right? You know, at the end of the day, you know that most of them are going to survive and everything because it's an anime. Like, you need to have the main character survive all the way to the end, or at least that's what you would think, right? Because according to the director, he wanted to kill off the main character halfway through the anime, but the studio wouldn't let him. Or at least I hope the studio didn't let him, because yeah, that doesn't make for good anime. That is a story. That's certainly a way to tell a story, but that doesn't make for good anime. Let's be real. You're just gonna kill off your main character, and then it's not gonna have any. It's just not anime, right? The main character always survives, or at least survives until the very end, and does a heroic sacrifice. Which, mind you, this show has no issue whatsoever with heroic sacrifices. No issue. Some of them aren't even heroic. So yeah. And then after episode 20, it's like a big scale war, which is fine. Big scale war is fine. You start to see, at this point, the notion of like single life, like single individuals, it starts to get lost a little bit because you see entire ships being destroyed and everything, and they still give it some importance, right? They still make it seem like, oh my god, they just killed a whole bunch of people, but it starts to lose its impact, right? In the early episodes, it's very much like we have 10 guys in our entire crew. If we lose anyone, it's just horrible, right? And that starts to lose its 22 and 23. Where's 23? There. Starts to become that naval warfare, like spaceship warfare, just has a ton more casualties involved. And as Amuro gets a lot better at piloting the Gundam, the casualties just start racking up. One thing that I do kind of enjoy is that there's I did kind of enjoy about the anime. Early on, one Saku, the mention of one Saku, so one mobile suit, is really like, oh my god, they're going to, oh my god, there's a Saku. Oh my god, there's two Sakus. Oh my god, it's three, and one of them is red. It's like this huge deal, right? But then later on, and they start to unveil more and more Sakus, more types, like the Gogs and the Rick Doms and all of that. They start to unveil more and more mobile suits. It's like, oh my god, that's amazing. How are they gonna beat that? And they start to go into those details, right? 14, 15, and 17. It starts to up the stakes. Towards the end, it's just like indiscriminate. Here's 100 Rick Doms. Here's 100 Rick Doms. How are you gonna deal with it? Well, we're just gonna get the Gundam, get the core fighters, not the core fighter, the G fighter, get the Gon cannon, get the Gon tank. You get them all out, and they're all fighting, and it's like, oh my god. It's really cool. You can see, I don't know if the budget probably didn't go up because it got cancelled. In case nobody knew, the original Gundam got cancelled due to low ratings. Yeah, I don't blame them. That was a really grim story. So the animation kept getting better episode after episode. It's weird. Wait, what did I do? Yeah, 16 is later. 16 and 17. I don't know why they're like this. So the animation kept getting better and better. What did I do? Hold on. Am I missing one? 15? I took 14. I took 17. Yeah. Not missing 15? No. Where did I leave 15? Oh, it's because I put it over here. Why did I put it over here? I'm just distracted right now. Let me get this piece straight and... Because, yeah. It says to put this one on, but it's so weird. Is it like this? No. Like that. And then this one. Like so. It's just the drawing is weird. Okay. So now 16. So yeah, by the time you get to the last few episodes, like you're all for it, you know? Everything is starting to unveil, everything is starting to be put out there. All the stuff that you've been told from the beginning, it's all starting to come together, right? There's a whole bunch of points throughout the anime that are very dramatic, very tense, very everything. There's just a whole bunch of stuff that you're left thinking, it's amazing that they managed to do that, you know, because every single episode hooks you in, keeps you in. B26. Every single episode has a hook to it. What's it called? A hook. It develops. I forget the terms, right? But basically, it's a whole roller coaster. Every single episode is a roller coaster. And you get more exposition towards the... Oh. You get more and more exposition, and you start to understand more about the universe that they're in. Everything builds up, and eventually it comes to a very satisfactory conclusion. Like it's amazing to me how they managed to create such a wonderful universe. Such a wonderful universe. I wouldn't say, well, actually wonderful. I mean, it's a great universe, right? They managed to create a great universe. They managed to create a great story in it. And it doesn't even seem that unrealistic or anything. One of the things that I've seen people criticized about Gundam is towards the later episodes, it starts to get a little bit wacky. You know? Did I put this one right? I'll see, I guess. I think I did. Alright, whatever. It starts to get a little bit wacky towards the end. I think it's like this. Oh, damn. This piece is very fragile, huh? There's a couple characters that I know people criticize, and I get it. I get it. I'm not blind to the fact that some of the characters are not the best. But I think overall they do a really good job of it. Given the restrictions that they had. B27, B28. Given the restrictions that they had in time and resources and everything, they do a really good job of telling a good story. Gelgu is another one that I remember. There's so many. The ball also. People always... I don't know why people like the ball so much. I don't think it's my favorite. I mean, it looks cool. It's not my favorite. But it looks cool. I'll probably get a ball. So what I want to do with this, what I would like to do with this is the 8. These are all 8. I need 2 8s. Is to start going through all the UC models, right? And go chronologically, preferably. So, like, I would prefer if the next model that I build in this line is a Saku, just a regular Saku. And then I can go into more complex Sakus. Pick it up. Some of the more complex Sakus. How do I put this here? Saku. And eventually build up to, what's this guy's? Makube? I would like to have his model. I haven't seen it ever though. I don't know if they make that. Obviously Rambaral's model. That'd be really cool. B24. Rambaral's model would be really cool to have. And obviously some model that belongs to Char. Like I do want to have a model that belongs to Char. That would also be really cool. Man, the entire story is just every single character has some little bit of development in the story that makes them relatable, you know? It makes them both relatable and it makes you want to know more about them. Some characters do get kind of forgotten towards the end, but that's a given. That's a given because, again, the anime was cancelled and the studio was given a certain amount of time to finish out the anime, and that made it so it wasn't as it needed more time to cook. Is it like this? No, because it's just like this. Oh yeah, I did it wrong. Like this. So I know that they didn't get to develop their stories completely as much as they wanted to. Some characters, it feels like they start getting developed and then they just completely stop. They completely stop being developed at some point. And it does feel like they are missing a bunch of character development, but at the same time, there's a concept in there that is then used for pretty much every single other Gundam anime, which is the new type concept. That concept gets introduced and developed in a very little time. So, and I'm guessing that's the effect of having your being cancelled, right? They had to develop that entire thing. PC6. They had to develop that entire thing in like a couple episodes. So it feels very out of the left field, and the stuff that's going on is just so trippy, and it's like, who's doing drugs, right? And it's like, am I doing drugs? Is the director doing drugs? Like, were the animators doing drugs, or what's happening? And I feel lost. I feel like I need an explanation of what's happening. But for the most part, you can understand what's happening. You can understand absolutely what's going on. And throughout all of that, the only thing that I get from this is that Char is quite possibly one of the best characters in the whole show. Char is quite possibly the best character in all of that. But every other character is also so good, so. Like, you can't really like let go of any of the characters. They're all good. But they kill off so many characters too, so that you have to let go of them. It's just so... I need to probably add this first. Absolutely love the anime. It's just something else. It would not get made today for sure. This socket is kind of weird, huh? A weird kind of socket. I like it, but it's kind of weird. All right. It's also worth mentioning that this entire anime is supposed to be hard science fiction, meaning that it's based on science fiction, like actual, well, sorry, it's based in actual science with only added fiction to, where they only add fiction to cover the gaps between, right? So it's like, it's based on actual science. Nice. I like this leg a lot more than the entry grade. This leg has much more detail, and the joints are a lot better, I think. This is a lot better. Okay, I was saying that this anime is based on actual real-life science, but then it has something that's called like hard science fiction. I believe that's the concept, which is to say that it's based on real science with just the little gaps filled so that it allows for the things that happen in the anime to happen, right? Which is, let me get 30 and 31 out. The main thing that they add is the addition of the Minovsky particles. So those are supposed to be particles that... okay, so they have a nuclear reactor. They have nuclear reactors that don't cause any harmful clean nuclear reactors, right? That's the main concept. Because otherwise... I'm sorry, I bumped the mic. They need to have clean nuclear reactors, because otherwise, even if one mobile suit explodes, the whole area is irradiated and everyone dies, right? So the idea here is that they find a way to create nuclear reactors that are clean, so there's no harmful radiation being emitted from them, but what it does emit is Minovsky particles. And these particles, what they do is they interfere with all electromagnetic... they interfere with any... what was it? Electromagnetic... They create electromagnetic fields and interfere with radio signals. Microwaves and all that stuff. I forget exactly what it does, but you get the idea, right? What it means is that as long as the Gundams are out there fighting, they cannot communicate. If they fight for long enough, the Minovsky fields will eventually be so much, the concentration of them will be so much, that all communications will stop in that area. And they use this very well, I would say. They use this made-up science very well. This is not the only thing that they make up. They make up a whole bunch of stuff, right? They make up a whole bunch of things to make this entire setting work. But that's what's really good about this. It's that because this anime is... all the things that happen in this anime, they happen in the year 1979. No, wait. 1979 is when it released, but this anime happens in the year 79, so 0079 of the Universal Century. What this means is that they had to actually write or at least think of. Let me find the next pieces because I'm just ranting now. It's not rant, it's just yapping. Where are these pieces? 22, 23. Okay. What that means is that they had to create a whole background story for 79 years. 79 years, right? In order to, before the story starts, because the story starts at 79, year 79. So before that, they had to create the entire story. And they do so, they had to create this entire universe just to justify the existence of mobile suits as military weapons. Which apparently is something that was new at the time. Before that, it was that these giant robots were seen as heroes, right? You would see them in shows as heroes. I think Macross is one that they quote. Not quote, but like give us an example. I don't know if Macross was before Gundam though. I don't know when it was. I know that a friend was obsessed with it. But the concept of mobile suits as a 17 and 15 as a military weapon was popularized by Gundam, right? There's another concept that they popularized, which is the new types. And that goes into the science fiction of hard science fiction. 15. So everything that needed to happen, and the genius, I would say, that was necessary to create the universe of Gundam, is just it amazes me how much imagination people from that time era had to create an entire universe that's just good. You know, it's a good universe. So how did they do that? How did they go and create an entire universe to tell a story? And that story took off. Like, it's, even though it got canceled, apparently it was popular enough to make a theatrical release right after. And it really became popular when the Gunpla was released, which is good. Good, I like Gunpla. I used to be a fan of Bionicle. I really liked Bionicle. But then they stopped making them. They stopped making them before I started earning enough money to where I could just buy them. Buy everything that I wanted, right? I say everything, but it's not quite everything. But they stopped selling them, so I had to pretty much rediscover my enjoyment of Gundam because of a lack of other... There's nothing else that's quite like Gundam right now. There's nothing else out at the moment that's quite like Gundam. So you really have to just say, okay, I should get into the whole thing. I should get into this entire thing as a whole to get to enjoy it, right? And I have to say that I do get a lot more enjoyment from this after having watched the anime, because I know how all of this works. Well, kinda, you know. I have a notion of how it works. Alright, back at it again. Had to replace the battery. So, yeah, I was saying that I think my enjoyment of this entire... and my enjoyment of the anime, more so than anything, my enjoyment of the anime is enhanced by knowing that I can then build the Gundams, right? Build the robots that I'm seeing on the screen. It's like it's amazing that I can have a replica of them. And I think that made me enjoy it more so now than when I was a kid, right? Because I remember watching it, and even though I didn't understand all the topics that were being portrayed, I got some enjoyment out of it, you know, out of seeing robots. I really love the robot armors and just robots in general. But my enjoyment has certainly increased now that I can have replicas of them. That seems to me like, let me get this one out already. For some reason, I enjoyed the anime a lot more, knowing that I got to build the RX-78-2 afterwards, you know? So I would certainly say that it's good to watch the... It'd be better if you watch the anime. You can build it first or anything, it doesn't matter. But you should watch the original. I think there are compilation movies. I watched the entirety of it. So I think there are compilation movies that you can watch. In case you don't want to go through, like, what was it, 42, 43 episodes? Which is understandable. And I am gonna be watching Zeta. So the sequel, I guess. I'm gonna be watching the sequel now. And then what I'm most excited about is the movie that comes after the sequel. I am excited to watch that, but I need to finish 22. Finish Zeta. And as much as I say that I would like to see some manner of story or anime come out now with like really good animation with the topics of the era, but I don't think that's possible. I really think that that anime is a product of its time. That was the right, yeah? This is the left. I really think that anime was a product of its time, and it would not be made today. PC6, C18. It could not be made today, absolutely not. And there's a lot of scenes in the anime that are just like, okay. You couldn't do that too. Nah, you couldn't do that today. Nah, absolutely not. C18. It doesn't mess around at all either. It's very no-nonsense anime. It's B23. Which is this one. And then from what I'm told, every new Gundam anime pretty much takes one of the concepts from this original and like builds upon it. That concept being the concept of new types. So towards the end of the original anime, you have new types. Oh, I was first supposed to do this one. New types being oh, come on. Talked about, right? They discover, well, no, they kind of already knew. All throughout the anime, they're hinting at the fact that Amuro might be different to everyone else, right? Some people feel like they're different. Some people feel like he's different, Amuro is different. And they start hinting at it, and they start hinting and hinting. And you as a spectator, I think you're supposed to think that, yeah, he's different because he's a prodigy. We've been saying this the whole time. He's just a prodigy. He's just a prodigy. He learns quickly, and he does all of this, and, you know, he's a prodigy. But as it turns out, towards the end, they realize that he's not just a prodigy. He's something new. He's the evolution of mankind, which is new types. New types being a kind of human that was born in space, raised in space, and has a certain affinities, I guess, for space people. It's weird. It's a weird concept that I'm sure will be elaborated upon with the new series. 813. I'm sure it'll be elaborated upon as I start to watch more. But I was told that the basic concept of it is if you're born in space, like you're not born in Earth, there's a good chance that you're a new type, right? The reason that I'm talking about all of that is because I thought about not giving any spoilers, but come on. Come on. Was he supposed to use this one? Yeah. It's from the 79. You should have seen it already. Oh, I mean, you should still see it, because whatever I say about it is not going to... Nah. It's like, it wouldn't even be the surface of it. I wouldn't even be scratching the surface of what that anime is. And it's really good. And you should watch it. I almost broke that. You're supposed to keep this little part. There we go. A lot of the original series is just wild in what they do. And because I didn't watch it at a time where I had the capacity to know what was going on. Now I get it. I get where a lot of the tropes come from. Okay, there we go. C32. So yeah, I'm definitely a fan of the anime. I was already a fan of the figures. I'm a fan of the anime. I'll be watching the rest of the UC, Universal Century. I know that at some point they start to divide into different universes, which I'm not much of a fan of the multiverse thing. But they did kinda... I mean, there's very little way that you can continue the UC. Let's be real. Very little way to continue the UC. Is that good? I think so. I'm not sure entirely why this is so... B5. Huh? Oh, B. It's the white one. So yeah, I'm gonna continue watching the UC. Pretty much to make a list of the models that I want to get. And eventually I'll start watching some of the others. Some of the models that I like them for different reasons. Are like the Witch from Mercury kind of stuff, right? I like the models. I know that the anime is not that great. Let's be real. I know that the anime is not that great. Or at least it has a lot of critiques. It has a lot of critique about it. I've read a bunch of comments about it being much more modern, right? But that's what you would expect from a modern rendition of Gundam. And certainly it's a lot more anime-y. I've seen all the... I think I know all the characters just from memes or like seeing images of them online. I'll give it a try. I don't expect to like it, because I really did enjoy the just Mobile Suit Gundam, right? I really did enjoy it. The themes on it are just crazy. Okay, A7. Oh no, I need to put a sticker on it. Another reason that I'm just yapping on this one is that I'm sick and tired of the camera issues, man. So I'm just saying whatever. Chances are I'm not even gonna post this. I'll have to rebuild it again. 4. Is it 4? Where'd I leave that? The good thing is that I have a bunch of this model. Specifically, I have a bunch of this model for a reason. It has like a... I think it's supposed to have a bump in there, like, but you can't hardly see it. Alright, whatever. Let's keep going. So, this... like this. Yeah, chances are this doesn't go out to the light of day. Is it like this? Yeah. But yeah, I'm just yapping at this point. I've been yapping the whole time, to be fair. B1. Now, what I need to figure out from the painting that I've done, I just do it like at random. I'm gonna need to figure out a sorting system. Probably get a bunch of post-its, to be honest. Let's get a bunch of post-its. What? Like this. When I try to paint them, I'm gonna have to figure out a way of separating everything, because yeah, that's what I need to figure out. B4, PC5. I didn't even show the instruction manual for the waist, which is what I'm making right now. I think I'm just so out of it with all the camera issues. I want to get this done. Hopefully I didn't damage that. PC5, before PC5. I don't think this matters. And I'm guessing we just put them in here. All right, and now the final step, which is to actually put it together. Oh, you have to be kidding me. Oh, that's why the light's not that great now. The light changed because I'm missing one light. That makes sense. Oh well. If I don't like how this turned out, then I'll probably just redo that video. TBH. Okay, so put it together. Very simple. Very simple. Okay, I don't like very much how it's fitted together. Okay. In the anime, when he goes up, it's like, oh shit. Just puts his legs together. All right. Just put him in the same pose as the one behind. The thing is, the torso is not mobile at all. It's mobile in one way. But like to the sides, not much. Not this entire thing doesn't. I don't know if did I build it wrong? I don't think so. But this entire thing is not mobile whatsoever. If that's the purpose, then yeah, it's fine. If it's not the purpose, then there we go. All right, let's get him some weapons, huh? All right, so for weapons, here we go. There's this entire page, and this one's in color for some reason. It tells you to build all the weapons. So let me go ahead with that. Rifle, A17, beam rifle. C39. One thing, so I was watching this 39. I watched the anime on Crunchyroll, and it has a comment section, right? Now, you should not ever, if you watch it on Crunchyroll, you shouldn't ever look at the spoiler tag. Right? If there's a spoiler tag, just don't click it. Do yourself a favor, don't click it. But one thing that was constantly being said about the show in the comments is that the shield would disappear every single episode and then reappear. Magically reappear the next episode. It's like every single episode, the shield would be destroyed. And then it'd come back. It's like no problem. And it wouldn't even be like, oh, it just took a little bit of damage. No, completely ripped apart. That was 33 and 37. And it just come back like nothing ever happened. It's kind of neat though. Alright, so what do you want me to do here? This, and then this one goes where? Here? Okay. This is how it's looking so far. It's already a gun. Just missing the other side of... Oh, it's missing the... Missing a couple parts. 34, 38. Okay. Now it's a gun. And... what's it say? Ah. Okay, so you're supposed to take out the hand. Then what's it say? So you can put in the gun. Yeah, it's actually anime accurate. So he has this handle and this side can go to the side. See it? So this side, sometimes he uses it like this. I think he uses it like this at some point. But more often what I remember is him holding it with both hands and then putting the side to the side. So he could use it. So that's what I remember most. I'll try to post him like that here in a bit. Actually, let me try it right now. No. Let me get the rest. Swords, they just have one thing. So for the swords, oh, this is... I hate... Well, no, I don't hate it, but... Cutting this plastic that's transparent, sometimes it's fine. Right now, that turned out completely fine. But sometimes you leave a huge mark on it. So these just go into the back. I'll try to post them a bit later. All right. So now, hopefully for the last time, I'm just finished building this. I went off to find something real neat. Let me just finish the shield. Let me go ahead and finish the shield. And this, so B7, B15, B16. Sorry, A15, A16. And obviously the star. A. All right, this is the good one. Oh, you first put the star. That's interesting. All right. That's not coming apart though. I can't go back and paint this, but oh well. C20, C21. I do want to finish this quickly now because, yeah, cameras. Need to figure out what the issue is with the camera. It's turning off for every reason imaginable. So I need to fix that. And I don't remember having this hard of a time before. But maybe I'm just recording for longer now? I have no clue. I just know that it's failing me. So it says, what do you want from me? Like this. And then into the back. So this is a big difference between the two shields. In the entry grade, there's no detailing here. So you can see a lot of detail there. Entry grade doesn't have that. Okay, so this is the same. If we want to give him the shield, what we do is we grab the closed hand, take the back off. Is it like this? It'll be like this, no? It's a lot more difficult than it looks like. Is it like this? Did I put it wrong? Nah. It would have to be like this. Yeah, there we go. Somehow I feel like it's less movable than... I feel like it's a lot flimsier than the entry grade. Yeah, I don't really like this shield. All right, let's just make the bazooka and we'll be done. The swords, I'll take them out. Just to have them. Yeah, that's just how they look, right? Maybe I'll use one here in a bit. Let me put the other one in though. Oh, I wanted to pose it with one of the swords. There we go. All right. There. Okay. C26, C27, C25. Okay, so all these pieces here. Nope. Yep. C25. What? Here? Then just put them together. That's a very simple one. Why can't everything be like this? 28, 29, 30. $28, $29, $30, right here. Oh. All right, have to take a little detour. 28. Stop rolling away. 30. And there we go. This looks good. Minus all the white marks, you know, but what can you do about those? When you're working with only integrate nippers, like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to do much about that. You can sand it for sure. And I got all of these boxes are for sanding, but I'm trying to just showcase building it with integrate stuff. Okay, so that's it. B3. So B3 is for hanging it. There. All right, so do we have any parts left? There's one hand here. There's one hand, and I'm not sure why that's there. Oh, C9, C8. Nah, this hand's specifically for the rifle. I think I have the wrong hand on it then. Poked a little bit of the plastic with the nipper. That's fine. All right, so that should be it. I don't have anything on the A, anything on the C, and nothing on the B. So that's it. That's all the parts there are. And I can now throw those runners into the runner pile. I guess I can throw this one too. But these two are not very useful because they're plasticky. So this one's plasticky. No, it's all plastic, right? I mean, like bendy. I forget the name of it, and this one's transparent, so it's also different. So I don't know what I'll do with those, but I'll keep them around for a while. And then, so this gets hung out here. Okay, so this little hatch. You can replace the little hatch. I don't have nails, man. For holding on to the bazooka. All right. So the same pose. No, it's not the same. Somehow, ironically enough, it's harder to pose this one. It's harder to pose this than the entry grade. Yeah, it just doesn't look good, does it? So this is the entry grade. You can tell there's some differences. Obviously, there are some differences. But there are some details that I like more on the entry grade than on the high grade. Funny enough. First of all, the posability, I think. I had a much easier time posing the entry grade. This looks better. Hold on. Let me put a side shot. So like that. But then again, I did pose it. I think this needs to go the other way. Anyway. Let me take it off just for a bit. Just to try and get the same pose. I should be using the other arm too. This new arm. Let me use the other arm. Whatever, just leave it like that. Jesus Christ, this is so wobbly. It doesn't look quite right, is the issue. I don't know. It's to some extent, I like the entry grade better. Jesus. I like the complexity of the high grade a lot better. But in just how they end up looking, the possibility too, like I preferred the entry grade. But now that's the entry grade. I have a base. So I have one of the bases that Bandai says you need to be using for your models. That looks decent, does it not? Doesn't really, but I don't know, it just doesn't, I don't know, the poses just don't do justice to the guy. Like I want to put this shield higher up, actually protecting him. I can't. I don't know if it's a me issue. Like, I don't know if it's a me issue or if it's a postability issue. Like, I'm gonna need to check it out. I'm pretty sure it's a me issue. I'll find a post that works eventually, but that don't look that good. I mean, it only needs to look good from one angle, right? And this pretty much has to cover the midsection, because that's where Amuro is. So you gotta cover the pilot, you know? Nope. Off comes the hand. Yeah, I'm gonna struggle with posting him for a while. Alright, well. For now, let's just pretend that he's in space. He's in space, that's why everything looks so wonky. And then we got the entry grade over here. Right, let me get the box behind them so I can get a nice picture. No, no, don't fall. I cannot get a good pose. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. And then when I find a good pose, I'll take a picture, and that's what I'm gonna use for the thumbnail. So yeah, once again, if you see this, thanks for watching. I don't know if I'm going to be posting this one exactly because yeah, it's been a whole mess. So yeah, once again, thanks, and I'll see you next time.